What's going on, everybody? Travis with REC Garage, and I got a little different kind of car here today. I'm gonna be doing something different too. We're gonna do engine stuff, which is kind of outside my norm, but it's Flathead for a friend. I think it's pretty cool. I think you guys are gonna like this car, so let's just rip the cover off. Hopefully. Maybe not. Of course, gotta get stuck on something. There it is, 29 Model A sedan, really low, bagged in the rear, that traditional style front end in the front, just the way I like it. Yeah, it's super heavily channeled. 3 deuces, pretty cool. Aluminum seats. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do, probably with the help of Joe, is get this running. This has been at a shop that will not be named, and he kind of got screwed there. They charge him a bunch of money, and it doesn't run at all now, but it kind of is the same as when he brought it there, which is a real bummer. So I'm going to try to help him out and get this thing running, because he built it when he was 19, and he's the same age as me, and he has not driven this thing more than probably a mile, and it's been through a couple of different engines trying to just get the thing right. So hopefully I'm going to be his Superman and get this thing on the road for him. Doesn't seem like it should be that big of a deal. The motor has been built, 4-inch crank, L100 cam, dome pistons. It's been bored. The whole thing's brand new. Coffee heads, Edelbrock intake, obviously 3 deuces. We might change these to 97s, just because I'm so familiar with 97s. They're so easy to mess with. I know you guys probably will have something to say about these. That's just not my experience with 94s. You know, I'm probably just going to rip them off, but I'm going to try to get it running the way it is. We'll see. And as you can probably see in the garage, the Dano Roadster is back. It's got a few changes. He wanted a lot of changes, but you know, me and Richie kind of talked him, and you know, he talked himself out of some of these things. It was a little too much for his big plan for the car. All the changes, well, not all of them, some of the changes he wanted, it didn't fit with the theme of the car, so we kind of nixed those, and we're keeping the same things, but we are changing the way the hood opens. We're putting a front bumper on it, finishing the dash. We have the insert we're going to put in it. There's going to be some, you know, some changes, not crazy, but we're going to be working on this pretty soon. So let's get into this, get this running, hopefully soon, and you know, then make our way back over there. Okay, well, bad YouTuber shines again. I just got this thing to run. It is so overfueled that there was flames shooting out of the tailpipe, literally shooting out of the tailpipe. So I might try to get that to happen again, just so you guys can see it, but this ain't right at all. Something very wrong here. So yeah, we gotta do something about that. Well, from that display, I think you can get the picture. And believe me that there was flames coming out, because too much popping. Too much unburnt fuel happening. So we got a lot of checking out to do here. You know, a crazy thing, I might just throw on a single carburetor intake and just get it running on one, just to make sure the engine's good, because he really hasn't had this engine running. So that'll tell us a lot. And then we can just move up to the 3 and get that figured out. But I'm gonna look at a few other things. Look at the Dizzy, see if it's not 180 out. Yeah, maybe close up a few of those carburetors, run on one. I don't know, we'll see. Take this out of here, maybe. Oh yeah, look at that. Soaking wet, full of fuel, super black. So yeah, it's not running right at all, and we know that. So I'm gonna have to clean these up before I do anything. All right, so super overfueling. The middle carb is even leaking. There's so much fuel just dripping in there. I think I'm just gonna take the front and rear carb off. I had that idea and Joe seconded that idea. Just see how it runs on one carb. See how the motor runs. Don't, you know, we gotta make sure this motor's good before we can throw 3 carburetors on it. And with this intake, you can put one in the middle because it's got this big log in the center that'll distribute it everywhere, I think. We'll pull one off and see if that's the case. If they're individual runners, which I don't think they are, we can't do that. But if it's a big log, then I think we can. So yeah, I'm just gonna rip these off and see what happens. Really, it should be a lot better. As you can see, I took these off, took some of that progressive linkage off. So now you just got the 194. I'm gonna make some block off plates from one of the gaskets I had, or gaskets that were underneath it. So I'll block those off. Try to get this thing running on just this carb, which should work fine. There should be no issues there. Clean the spark plugs up because they're all wet and full of carbon, all fouled out. Yeah, start there. See how it runs. Hopefully just get this thing down the road today like this, because there should be no problems. It's pretty much a fresh motor. Running on a single carb should be no problem. Back to basics. So I quite literally have a bag full of these gaskets. You can't even see it. There it is. And every time I look for them, they disappear. And when I don't need them, I find the bag, and I'm like, hey, look, I got like 30 gaskets. And of course now I need them because this one came off all right. It kind of ripped there in the middle. And the other one came off in pieces. So now I'm forced to make them, even though I have a bag somewhere. This is driving me totally insane. So, regardless, I got to make 2 of the... Actually, should probably just need to make 1 of them. Need to make 1 of these. And I need to make a steel version, kind of, at least with just the same 3-hole pattern on it, so I can make sort of a block off. I don't have a block off anywhere. I did, but now I don't have them, so I need to make them. Fun. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now, and we'll try to get that thing started on 1 carb. Whoops. Need the holes. Scrap block off plates. Just because they don't need to be perfect. This is just for R&D. I can weld that up if I need to. Okay, since my bandsaw is broken, I need to cut these out with a cutting wheel. Yay! Not so much. Really? Full battery a minute ago. Oh my God. This is insane. That's it? That's all I got? Test. See if this thing works. See if I drilled it correctly or not. No, I didn't. They're barely the same size the hole anyway, so okay. Couple sizes up. And it should fit right on there. Okay. Not so big of a deal. Washes. Washes, washes, washes. Wow, that hurts. This is ridiculous. It's supposed to be a drill bit. Yeah, that's not what I wanted at all. That walked so much. Alright, so now make another one of these gaskets. Hopefully do this one correctly. This one does not need anything cut out of the middle, obviously, because, you know, it's for a block off plate. So, get some scissors. Nice. Okay, it's a little small, so I don't have a punch big enough for this, which would be the optimal thing to do. So I might have to sandwich it in between those things I just made and drill through it. Maybe not sandwich because, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. You know, ball peen trick should still work with this stuff. There you go. That's an easy trick. Making gaskets, totally forgot about that. So, I got one, and I got two. Actually, you know what? Just make another one of these to make it copacetic. Cut inside the line because I was tracing around something. Might be obvious to some of you, but might be like, oh, that's why everything I do is always bigger. Because you're cutting on the wrong side of your trace line, dude. Okay. Yoink. Yeah. Yes, this will go on this side, I guess. I don't know. So, I hope this works. I think the only thing that will, you know, be an issue right now is I think the bolts inside of these fuel lines. I don't know if the clamps are tight enough. Because this one kind of was, well, this one was kind of stripping out. I'm gonna have to get a different clamp on there. Make sure fuel doesn't just spray out of there. Let's test this out. Alright, yep, see, leaking. The other one's good. Okay. Need to get a new clamp on this and we should be alright, ready to send it. Alright, so got a couple block off plates on here. 94 chilling. I'm going to clean up these spark plugs, take the other side out, get everything fresh, try again. It should run a lot better with only one 94 on it. So once we get it to there, I'll know the engine runs. That's all I really want to know right now, is if this thing even runs. So we'll get there and then start messing with multiple carbs. But right now, let's just get this car to go down the road first. All right, plugs clean, put back in. These two, for some reason, I might trace them back, were like super clean. Everything else was fouled out. So I'm gonna check on these two again, try to make sure it's not something funky going on here. But let me try again with the single carb and see what happens. still all messed up. Alright. Messing with the idle screws now. Something's wrong. Okay. Let me check the timing. I'm going to see if everything's copacetic there. I think the distributor was off timing a little bit. I put it to top dead center. Maybe. Might be a little more. And I made a mark where the number 1 cylinder was. And I kind of line it up with that. We'll see. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. Because it won't even run. And it's on 1 carburetor, so it doesn't make any sense why it shouldn't run. It's definitely, this distributor is not on properly, or it's not timed correctly. Something's wrong. So, put the spark plug back in, and we'll try it again. Definitely gotta remember to take this off the crank. Don't want an accident. Wouldn't be good at all. Okay. That's back on. This is on. Oh, these are tight. Alright, let's try it again. See if we can even idle this time. That's a no. Okay, let's try something else. Okay, let's try this again. So nothing seems to be working, so I'm gonna find top dead center of the motor, put the distributor back in, see if somebody put it in wrong, maybe a tooth out or something that could cause a lot of problems, and you know, then we'll, you know, start over, keep going. The car's spitting fuel. There's only 1 fuel carburetor. Spark plugs are good. They keep getting over fueled though, because it hasn't run yet. It just keeps popping. And yeah, the wires are good. Everything's good. It's just not set up correctly, so we'll get there. So what I'm going to do here is make a little fancy top dead center gauge, down and dirty. So yeah, something to wrap around one of these head studs. That should do. Maybe a little tighter. Come on. Okay. Got that piece. This piece is just a gauge. Can't even see it. This piece is a gauge, so when this goes down in here, it'll show it moving. So, kind of want to just do this one. I think it's just like a ball-ish. It's gonna go down there, and this is where the pistole is. It's gonna kind of have a crook in it there. Oh, it's too much. It's difficult because since this has domed pistons, that little trick I was trying to show you with the little height gauge and the you know, the piece that would move, it didn't work. It got jammed up. Obviously didn't try that hard. The minute it got jammed up, I reversed it and took it out, so that kind of sucks. But there is a mark on this, on that pulley. I'm not sure which way you're supposed to look at it to make sure it's lined up, but it looks lined up from here, and it was at the compression stroke. So now I'll try to line the distributor up with number 1, put a mark there. So we'll see how that goes. Number 2, or whatever, 1, 3, forget how it goes. That should be easier with this out. Okay. This should be more like it.
No bueno.
I don't know. Like, I can't even get it to idle. And it's, you know, 1 carburetor now. And, like, everything's either new or, like, new. Mm-hmm. There's no reason why it shouldn't at least idle.
Yeah, that's weird.
This tight. Trying that little doohickey thing. I made an adjustment to it. It should be alright. You see it moving? damn spot on. I'll try that. There's no reason that this shouldn't get it running. Top dead center. It's lined up with number 1 spark, and I'm gonna confirm that in a minute. You never know, I could mess up and not have number 1 on there. Then I gotta verify the firing order, because who knows? That could be off too. Okay, so this is number 1. This is number 1. Okay. Let's put that back on. We're up. These don't need a heck of a lot. Alright, I already found a problem. Spark, well, number 5 on the dizzy cap was connected to 6. So I just changed that to 5. So yeah, I'm gonna go through the whole thing and make sure. That was the second one I did and it was wrong. So 1 5 4 8 6 3 7 2. So I got to figure that out now. Okay, 1 5 4. So 1 5 4. Yep, that one's right. 8 8 6 6 3 7 2. Okay, that's all right. Now let's try this again. Yeah, it definitely sounds. 5 and 6 spark plugs were, well, the wires were crossed. 6 was on 5 and 5 was on 6, so it's getting better. Let me, oh. Now the battery's dead. Of course.
Yeah. Sounds much better. Soup is ready whenever.
Alright, well, I came out here after lunch. I don't know if this is just gas with, you know, just mixing with the carbon buildup. It smells like gas. I hope it's not oil. That would not be good. I don't see why it would be oil. Nothing's blowing up in this thing. Alright, well. Yeah.
Why is it so
onto something. It's running.
Yeah.
Ish. I took the fuel line off to check the flow of the fuel, and it was sporadic and kind of odd. So I checked the tank. There was no gas in it. So, you know, there's your problem. Ain't got no gas in it. So, just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna fill this up and see if it changes anything. Half a turn, then a quarter turn, half turn, quarter turn, 3/4 of a turn out. Choke off just to see if, you know, what I did works. Let me turn this idle screw back. See what happens. Oh, let me first let's check the flow again. See if it's the same or if it's a little different. Alright, so that's even. It's a nice even flow now. So I don't know if that's going to solve the issue, but it's definitely going to help. So we know it's the distributor's where it needs to be. Plug wires are correct to the correct cylinder. Spark plugs have been cleaned. What else? Getting fuel. I tested the spark on number 1. It was sparking, so we got spark. So really, it should just go. We'll see. Should. Should is right. It didn't. Okay. Time to figure something else out. So I think I'm just gonna try replacing this carburetor and seeing what that does. saw me just put on this 97, my Chrome 97. I had these rebuilt for that car pickup. I had them rebuilt and they didn't work. And I know what you're saying. Why are you putting them on this carburetor, on this motor, if you know it doesn't work? I could get it to idle. It would idle like a son of a bitch, but it just wouldn't drive or, like, you know, accelerate. So I just want to get this thing to idle correctly without the choke on. Seems to me, everything I've looked up, it seems like a fuel delivery issue. But I kind of solved that issue. Maybe it's the carburetor itself needs to be cleaned, but before I do that, put one on there that I know can idle. So we'll try that. See what happens. All right, it's squirting. Come on. Started off all right. All right, so now I've changed the carburetor again to a 94 I had laying around that I know has worked before, almost flawlessly. I think it was on the 40, or this is the one that Joe gave me. I forget, but it is leaking. But it has the most potential so far. I know, jeez. All right, so as you can see, the carburetor that I had just sitting around, don't remember if it was from Joe or from the 40, it idles. It leaks. The throttle linkage is very loose, so if you touch it, it'll stay revved. But, you know, I put a spring on there for now. Maybe tomorrow when the battery is fully charged up, I'll try to take this thing for a little drive on one and see if you know, when I hit the throttle, if it lags at all, because, you know, it can idle here and you can rev it up while it's not moving just fine. You'll think it's all right. You go take it for a drive, it might fall right on its face. I'm expecting that 100%, but that's all I got for today. That's big milestone. It idles, it sits there idling. Don't have to run over there and keep it running. It runs. I just ordered 3 Strombergs, straight 3x2 linkage. None of this, you know, progressive crap. I'll put it on there if I have to. If the 3 is too much, I'll try the 3. Then I'll try jetting it, and if that doesn't work, then I'll try the progressive. But I'm pretty sure I can just throw 3 deuces on there and be fine. We just put 4 on Joe's motor with straight linkage, and it's fine. It breaks up at top end because his distributor was all pretty much broken inside. So I'm pretty sure 397s will be fine on this if we jet them correctly. But we're going to try before instead of wasting time and money. Yes, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. I know I'm not much of a mechanic, but this went from not running to running today, so, you know. Good job, Travis. Getting better with these flatheads. And you know, it's, you know, if it turns over, it'll run. It's true. You just got to get a good carburetor. Went through, as you know, all those and some to try to get this thing running. They were all bad carburetors. So, I really just need a good one so I can test everything with that one good carburetor that I know runs. So, for now, it's this bad boy. I should get a gassy kit for him to make sure he don't leak, but, you know. Alright guys, for real, that's it. See you guys next time.